what you are about to do before you have done it. Have you ever noticed how people ask about your life almost every day? What are you working on? What's your next plan? How is everything going? Most people answer every question without thinking. But what if that simple habit is slowing your life down? What if every time you explain your plans, your work, or your next move, you quietly lose focus without realizing it? In this audiobook, you will discover why successful people do not feel the need to explain everything, why keeping some parts of your life private makes you mentally stronger, and how saying less helps you achieve more. This is not about hiding from people. It is about protecting your future until your results speak for you. If you truly want to understand why never telling people what you do can completely change your mindset and your life, stay with me until the very end. Chapter 1. Stop answering every question about your life. One of the biggest mistakes people make is answering every question about their life, as if everyone deserves an explanation. They ask where you are going, what you are working on, how much money you are making, what your next step is, and what you hope to achieve. Many people answer without thinking because it feels normal. It feels polite. It feels friendly. But after many years of watching people succeed and fail, I have learned something that changes everything. Not every question deserves an answer. Your future does not become stronger because more people know about it. Your future becomes stronger because you protect it while you are building it. Many people are not trying to hurt you. They are simply curious. Curiosity is part of human nature. But every conversation has an effect on your mind. Every opinion has the power to stay in your thoughts longer than you expect. You may hear one negative sentence in the morning, and you are still thinking about it before you go to bed. That is why you have to become wise about what you share. You are responsible for protecting your own focus. Think about how often someone asks, "What are you doing these days?" or "What is your next plan?" Most people answer right away. They talk about the business they want to start. They explain the goal they just wrote down. They describe every detail of the dream they have not even started. Then something interesting happens. The conversation ends, but the work becomes harder. Now they feel pressure. Now they wonder what those people will think if they fail. Instead of enjoying the process, they begin worrying about people's expectations. There is another way to live. When someone asks about every part of your life, you do not have to give them the full story. You can smile. You can be respectful. You can keep the conversation simple. There is nothing wrong with protecting your personal journey. Privacy is not dishonesty. Privacy is wisdom. You are not hiding because you are afraid. You are choosing peace over unnecessary attention. The people who change their lives are usually busy changing them. They do not spend every evening explaining their plans. They spend that time learning, improving, practicing, reading, thinking, and taking action. Every hour you spend talking about what you are going to do is an hour you could have spent actually doing it. Results are built in quiet moments that nobody sees. That is where confidence grows. Confidence does not grow because people clap for you. Confidence grows because you keep promises to yourself. One reason people answer every question is because they want approval. They want someone to say, "That is a great idea." They want encouragement before they take the first step. But there is a problem with living that way. The same people who encourage you today may discourage you tomorrow. If your confidence depends on their words, then your confidence will always be unstable. Build your confidence on your daily actions instead. Every small promise you keep to yourself becomes proof that you can trust yourself. Another reason people overshare is excitement. They finally have a goal that gives them hope. They cannot wait to tell everyone. That excitement feels good for a moment, but excitement without action changes nothing. Use that energy to make progress instead of making announcements. Every page you read, every skill you practice, every early morning you keep, Every distraction you avoid is moving your life forward. Those actions matter much more than any conversation. You also have to understand that not everyone sees life through your eyes. Some people have stopped believing in their own dreams. They may not even realize they are passing their fear to you. They ask questions that create doubt instead of confidence. They remind you of everything that could go wrong. If you are not careful, you begin seeing your future through their limited thinking. Protect your mind from that. Guard your direction. Your future deserves better than borrowed fear. There is something powerful about becoming the kind of person who does not need to explain every decision. You wake up with a purpose. You know what needs to be done. You stay busy with meaningful work. You stop looking for permission to improve your life. That creates a calm mind. You no longer waste energy trying to convince people that your goals matter. They matter because they matter to you. As your discipline grows, something changes inside you. You become less interested in talking and more interested in finishing. You become less concerned with being understood and more concerned with becoming better. That is a healthier way to live. It frees your mind from unnecessary pressure. It allows you to focus on the next step instead of the next conversation. Remember, your life is not a public project. You do not owe everyone an explanation for every decision you make. You do not have to defend your goals before you have even started. You do not need to satisfy every person's curiosity. Save your energy for the work that changes your future. Save your attention for the habits that build your character. Save your words for moments that truly matter. One day people will notice that your life looks different. They will see more confidence in your face. They will see more discipline in your routine. They will see better results in your work. Some will wonder when everything changed. You will know the answer. It changed the day you stopped answering every question about your life and started investing that time and energy into becoming the person you always wanted to be. That decision may seem small today, but it can become one of the wisest choices you ever make because your future is built by your actions, not by your explanations. Chapter 2. Keep your daily moves away from everyone. Most people believe they need to keep others updated about everything they do. They tell friends when they wake up early. They talk about a new habit after doing it for 2 days. They explain every new routine before it becomes part of their life. At first, it seems harmless. It feels like sharing. But over time, this habit quietly takes away something valuable. It takes away your ability to grow without outside influence. Real change needs space. It needs time. It needs consistency. When every small step becomes a conversation, your attention slowly moves away from the work and toward the reactions of other people. A person who truly wants a better life learns how to protect ordinary days. Success is built in ordinary days, not in special moments. It is built when you choose to read instead of wasting an hour. It is built when you save money without telling anyone. It is built when you improve one skill after work, while everyone else thinks you are simply relaxing. These daily choices may look small, but they shape your future. They deserve your full attention, not public discussion. Many people lose momentum because they begin performing for an audience instead of living for a purpose. They start asking themselves whether other people notice their effort. They wonder if anyone appreciates their discipline. They wait for someone to recognize their progress. That way of thinking slowly steals their motivation. The strongest motivation comes from knowing that you are becoming better, even if nobody else sees it yet. When your satisfaction comes from your own growth, you become much harder to distract. There is another reason to keep your daily moves private. Every person around you has different expectations, different fears, and different opinions. If you share every decision, those opinions begin filling your mind. One person says you are moving too fast. Another says you should wait. Someone else tells you your plan will never work. Soon, you are carrying thoughts that never belong to you. Your original excitement becomes mixed with uncertainty. Nothing has changed except the number of voices in your head. Strong people learn to listen to themselves more often than they listen to the crowd. That does not mean ignoring wise advice. It means understanding the difference between guidance and unnecessary noise. Guidance helps you improve. Noise makes you question yourself without giving you a better direction. Wisdom is knowing which one deserves your attention. Think about the people who quietly improve year after year. They are not always the loudest people in the room. They are usually the ones who keep showing up. They continue learning when nobody asks about their progress. They continue exercising even when nobody compliments them. They continue building their future without needing constant recognition. They understand that habits become stronger when they are repeated, not when they are announced. Your daily routine is personal because it is creating your future identity. Every morning you wake up on time, every book you finish, every difficult decision you make, every unhealthy habit you replace is shaping who you become. That process deserves protection. It is similar to protecting your peace. If something helps your life become better, do not allow unnecessary conversations to weaken it. Sometimes people ask questions because they simply want something to talk about. They may not even remember your answer tomorrow. Yet you spend hours thinking about what they said. That is not a good trade. Your time is valuable. Your mental energy is valuable. Spend both on actions that improve your life instead of conversations that disappear within minutes. One habit that successful people develop is learning to become comfortable with privacy. Privacy gives you room to make mistakes without feeling embarrassed. It gives you freedom to change direction without explaining yourself. It allows you to improve quietly until your actions become natural. That freedom is powerful because growth is rarely perfect. There will be days when you struggle. There will be days when you need to adjust your plan. Those moments become much easier when you are not trying to meet everyone else's expectations. Your life becomes lighter when you stop feeling responsible for keeping people updated. You no longer feel pressure to prove that you are making progress every week. You stop measuring your success by how impressed other people seem. Instead, you measure it by your consistency. Did you keep your promise today? Did you improve your attitude? Did you finish the work you planned to finish? Those questions matter far more than whether someone praised your effort. One of the greatest forms of self-respect is learning to keep your attention where it belongs. Every time you avoid an unnecessary conversation about your personal journey, you are choosing your future over temporary attention. Every time you quietly continue your routine instead of explaining it, you are strengthening your discipline. These choices may seem invisible, but they are creating a version of you that is more focused, more confident, and more emotionally stable. Do not underestimate the power of an ordinary day lived with intention. Great lives are not built by one exciting decision. They are built by hundreds of quiet decisions that most people never see. Keep making those decisions. Keep protecting your routine. Keep showing up for yourself. The people around you do not need a report about your daily life. What they eventually notice will not be your words. They will notice your confidence, your peace, your discipline, and the quality of your life. Those changes will speak clearly because they were built one private day at a time. Chapter 3. Think more before telling people anything. One habit can quietly change the direction of your entire life. It is the habit of stopping for a moment before you speak. Most people do the opposite. A thought enters their mind, and a few seconds later, it comes out of their mouth. They rarely ask themselves an important question. Does this really need to be said? That one question can protect your time, your peace, your relationships, and your future. Every word you speak has a purpose. Sometimes it builds trust. Sometimes it creates problems that never needed to exist. A wise person understands that speaking is a choice, not a habit that should happen automatically. Many people believe honesty means saying everything they think. That is not wisdom. Wisdom is knowing the right time, the right person, and the right reason for sharing something. You can be honest without giving every detail of your life away. You can be open without making yourself an open book. There is a big difference between being real and speaking without thinking. One builds respect, the other often creates regret. Think about how many times people have shared something personal simply because there was a moment of silence in a conversation. They felt uncomfortable, so they filled the silence with information they later wished they had kept private. They talked about money. They talked about family problems. They talked about future decisions that were not even final. Hours later, they realized they had spoken too much. That feeling teaches an important lesson. Silence is not your enemy. Sometimes, silence is protecting you from saying something that serves no purpose. Your words have value. The more carefully you use them, the more people respect them. A person who speaks every thought often finds that others stop listening. But when you become someone who speaks with intention, people pay closer attention because they know your words are meaningful. This is not about becoming quiet all the time. It is about becoming thoughtful. There is a difference. Thoughtful people create stronger conversations because every sentence has a reason behind it. Before sharing anything important, give yourself time. Excitement can make you speak too quickly. Anger can make you speak too harshly. Fear can make you reveal things that should remain private. Strong emotions often push people toward fast decisions and fast conversations. Give yourself space before responding. A calm mind usually makes better choices than an emotional one. That simple pause can save you from weeks of unnecessary stress. Another truth about life is that not everyone who asks a question needs the complete answer. Some people ask because they care. Others ask because they are curious. Some ask because they enjoy collecting information. Learning the difference is part of becoming emotionally mature. You are allowed to choose what belongs in a conversation and what belongs only in your own heart and mind. That choice does not make you distant. It makes you responsible. As you grow older, you begin to notice that words cannot be taken back. An action can sometimes be corrected. A mistake can often be repaired. But once words leave your mouth, they belong to everyone who heard them. They travel from person to person. They can be misunderstood. They can be repeated without context. That is why careful speech is not weakness. It is strength. Strong people understand the long-term effect of short conversations. Many people spend years trying to manage other people's opinions. The easiest way to reduce unnecessary opinions is to give people less information that invites judgment. Every detail you share creates another opportunity for someone to analyze your choices. Every unnecessary explanation opens another door for unwanted advice. You cannot control how others think, but you can control how much access they have to your personal life. There is also another benefit to thinking before speaking. It teaches self-control. Self-control is not only about food, money, or habits. It is also about conversation. It is the ability to choose your response instead of reacting automatically. Every time you pause before speaking, you are training your mind to stay in charge. That discipline grows stronger over time. Soon you begin making better decisions in every area of life because your mind learns not to rush. People often admire confidence, but real confidence sounds different from what many imagine. It does not constantly seek attention. It does not rush to prove anything. It does not need to win every conversation. A confident person is comfortable listening. A confident person is comfortable leaving some questions unanswered. That calm attitude creates respect because it shows emotional strength instead of emotional urgency. There will always be people who expect you to explain every choice you make. They may ask why you changed careers, why you stopped certain habits, why you spend your weekends differently, or why your priorities have changed. You are not required to satisfy every question. Sometimes the best answer is a simple one. Sometimes no detailed answer is needed at all. Your life belongs to you. Protecting it begins with protecting your conversations. Every day gives you another chance to practice this habit. Before speaking, ask yourself if your words will improve the moment, solve a problem, strengthen a relationship, or move your life forward. If the answer is no, consider saying less. That decision may seem small, but small decisions repeated over time create a completely different life. The people who build lasting success are often the people who think carefully, choose their words wisely, and understand that not every thought belongs in every conversation. Your future becomes stronger when your mind leads your mouth instead of the other way around. Chapter 4. Learn when silence protects your future. There comes a point in life when you realize that speaking less is not about being quiet. It is about being wise. Many people think silence means weakness because they have spent years believing they must always respond, always explain, and always defend themselves. The truth is very different. Some of the strongest decisions you will ever make happen when you choose not to say something. That choice protects your time, your focus, your emotions, and your future. Every conversation does not deserve your full story. Every person does not deserve complete access to your thoughts. As you grow, your future becomes one of your greatest responsibilities. It is not something to gamble with. It is something to protect. Every goal you have is still taking shape. Every new habit is still becoming part of your character. Every improvement is still fragile in the beginning. When something is still growing, it needs care. It does not need constant attention from people who may never understand why it matters to you. The early stages of change are often the most important because that is when your commitment is being tested. Many people lose direction because they allow too many voices into their lives. They ask 5 different people what they should do. They explain every decision before making it. They search for approval from people who have never lived the life they want. After enough conversations, they no longer know what they truly believe. Their own judgment becomes weaker because it is buried under the opinions of everyone else. This is why learning when to stay silent is not simply about communication. It is about protecting your ability to think clearly. There will be moments when someone questions your choices. They may ask why you wake up earlier than before. They may wonder why you stopped spending money the way you used to. They may notice that you spend less time at parties or less time scrolling through your phone. They may not understand why your priorities have changed. You do not have to convince them. A meaningful life is not built by winning conversations. It is built by making better decisions every day. Save your energy for those decisions instead of long explanations. Silence also protects your emotions. Imagine spending weeks working toward an important goal. You feel excited because you are finally making progress. Then, one careless comment from another person makes you question everything. They laugh at your idea. They tell you it sounds unrealistic. They remind you of your past mistakes. Suddenly your confidence begins to fade. Nothing changed about your ability. Only your attention changed. You allowed another person's words to become louder than your own commitment. That is why you must become careful about who has access to your dreams while they are still growing. One lesson I learned is that people often speak from their own experience, not from your potential. Someone who gave up early may believe everyone else will give up too. Someone who stopped learning may think improving is impossible. Someone who fears change may try to keep you exactly where you are. They are not always trying to harm you. Many simply cannot imagine a future different from the one they accepted for themselves. You must never allow another person's limits to become your own. There is also great freedom in becoming comfortable with privacy. When you stop feeling the need to report every step, your mind becomes calmer. You wake up thinking about your work, instead of thinking about how to describe your work. You finish your day feeling proud because you made progress, not because someone praised you. That quiet confidence becomes part of your identity. It grows every time you keep another promise to yourself without asking anyone to notice. Silence can also help you avoid unnecessary conflict. Not every disagreement deserves your participation. Not every misunderstanding needs a long explanation. Sometimes, people have already decided what they want to believe. No amount of talking will change their mind. Instead of wasting hours trying to be understood, invest those hours in becoming stronger, wiser, and more capable. Your future benefits much more from your actions than from your arguments. As life moves forward, you will discover that opportunities often come to people who remain focused. Focus becomes easier when your attention is not scattered across endless conversations. Your energy stays where it belongs. Your thoughts become clearer. Your decisions become more intentional. You stop reacting to every opinion because you have learned that your direction matters more than temporary approval. This creates emotional stability, and emotional stability creates better choices. There will always be people who are curious about your next step. Curiosity is normal. You do not have to satisfy every question. You can answer with kindness while still protecting what matters most. You can be respectful without revealing everything. You can be friendly without giving away your personal journey. That balance is a sign of maturity. It shows that you value your future enough to guard it carefully. Very few people knew what you were doing. Those quiet days were not empty. They were preparing you. Every early morning, every difficult decision, every hour of learning, every moment of discipline was shaping a new version of you. Your future did not become stronger because you talked about it. It became stronger because you protected it long enough for your actions to become real. Learn this lesson well. Silence is not about hiding from the world. It is about giving your dreams the space they need to grow into a life that no longer requires explanation. Chapter 5. Avoid conversations that steal your focus. Every day you meet people who want your attention. Some want a quick conversation. Some want your opinion. Some want to tell you about problems that have nothing to do with your life. Others simply want company because they are avoiding their own responsibilities. None of these situations may seem dangerous, but together they slowly take away the time and mental energy you need to build a better future. Success is not only about what you choose to do, it is also about what you choose to stay away from. One conversation can change your mood, your confidence, and even the direction of your day. That is why you must become careful about the conversations you allow into your life. Many people believe that being available all the time makes them kind and friendly. There is nothing wrong with helping others, but there is a difference between being supportive and allowing yourself to become distracted every day. If every phone call pulls you away from your work, if every message demands an immediate reply, and if every invitation becomes more important than your own goals, then your future begins to pay the price. You cannot build an exceptional life while giving everyone unlimited access to your attention. One habit separates focused people from distracted people. Focused people ask themselves a simple question before giving their time to any conversation. They ask, "Will this help my life move forward?" That question changes everything. Some conversations teach you something valuable, some strengthen important relationships, some solve real problems. Those are worth your time. But many conversations only repeat the same complaints, the same gossip, the same arguments, and the same negative thinking. When you spend enough time listening to those subjects, they quietly become part of your own thinking. Be careful of people who always have something to complain about, but never have a plan to improve their situation. After a while, you stop hearing solutions and start hearing excuses. Human beings naturally absorb the attitudes they spend time around. If every discussion is filled with blame, disappointment, and criticism, it becomes harder for you to stay hopeful and disciplined. You do not need to become rude. You simply need to become selective. Protecting your mindset is one of the greatest responsibilities you have. There is another kind of conversation that quietly steals focus. It is the conversation that encourages comparison. Someone tells you how much money another person is making. Someone else talks about a friend's expensive house or successful business. Before long, your attention shifts away from your own progress and towards somebody else's life. That is a dangerous habit because comparison often replaces gratitude and patience. Every person has a different starting point, different opportunities, and different challenges. Your responsibility is not to live someone else's journey. Your responsibility is to improve your own. You also have to recognize that not every debate deserves your participation. Many people waste valuable hours trying to prove they are right. They argue online, they argue at work, they argue with relatives. When the conversation ends, nothing has improved except their level of frustration. Wisdom teaches you to ask a better question. Is winning this argument worth losing my peace of mind? Very often, the answer is no. The strongest person in the room is not always the one who speaks the longest. Sometimes, it is the person who knows when to walk away. Your daily attention works like a limited resource. Every unnecessary conversation uses part of it. By the time evening arrives, you feel mentally tired without understanding why. You plan to read, learn a new skill, or work on an important project, but your mind feels crowded. That is because you spent your best energy on discussions that added no value to your future. Imagine what could happen if you protected those hours instead. One focused hour every day is enough to create remarkable change over the course of a year. The people who build meaningful lives often have one quality that others misunderstand. They are comfortable saying no. They do not reject people because they lack kindness. They simply understand that every yes carries a cost. Saying yes to another pointless conversation often means saying no to personal growth. Every choice has consequences. The question is whether those consequences move you closer to the life you want or further away from it. You should also pay attention to the conversations you have with yourself. The voice inside your own mind has more influence than anyone else. If you constantly repeat thoughts like, "I will never succeed," or "I am too late," then your confidence begins to disappear before you even take action. Replace those thoughts with better questions. Ask yourself what you can learn today. Ask yourself how you can improve by one small step. Ask yourself what decision your future self would be proud of. Those inner conversations build strength instead of fear. As your discipline grows, people may notice that you spend less time in unnecessary discussions. Some may misunderstand your change. That is perfectly fine. Your purpose is not to meet everyone's expectations. Your purpose is to become the best version of yourself. Real friends will respect your priorities. Wise people will understand your boundaries. The people who become upset because you are protecting your time often reveal that they benefited from your distractions more than your success. Never forget that every meaningful achievement requires long periods of focused effort. Books are written because someone protected their attention. Businesses are built because someone refused constant interruptions. Healthy bodies are developed because someone stayed committed to daily habits instead of daily distractions. Better relationships are created because someone chose honest communication over endless drama. Every worthwhile result begins with a decision to protect what matters most. Guard your attention with care because it shapes your future more than talent, luck, or perfect conditions ever will. Spend your words wisely. Spend your time wisely. Spend your energy where it creates growth. Walk away from conversations that leave your mind heavier than before. Choose discussions that inspire learning, wisdom, responsibility, and action. Every day you make that choice, you become a little stronger, a little clearer, and a little closer to the life you have been working so hard to create. Chapter 6. Stop giving people access to your plans. Every successful life begins with a decision that most people never see. Before there is progress, there is commitment. Before there are results, there are quiet choices made day after day. One mistake many people make is giving others full access to those choices before they have become habits. They tell everyone about the business they want to build, the career they want to change, the money they want to save, or the person they want to become. At first it feels exciting because people are listening. But excitement is not the same as progress. The attention you receive today cannot replace the work you must do tomorrow. If you truly want your future to look different, learn to protect your plans until your actions become stronger than your words. Many people confuse talking with moving forward. They spend hours discussing ideas, but very little time turning those ideas into reality. Every conversation gives them the feeling that something important has happened, even though nothing has actually changed. Days pass, weeks pass, and the same plan is still only a conversation. Real growth begins when you stop collecting reactions and start collecting completed actions. Every hour spent improving your skills is worth more than an hour spent describing your ambitions. One reason people reveal their plans too early is because they want certainty. They hope someone will tell them they are making the right choice. They want reassurance before taking a difficult step. But life rarely works that way. There will always be uncertainty. There will always be people who see risk where you see opportunity. If you wait until everyone agrees with your direction, you may never begin. At some point, you must trust your own judgment enough to take responsibility for your decisions. Think about how many dreams disappear because they are constantly discussed but rarely developed. An idea needs discipline more than attention. A goal needs daily effort more than public approval. Every meaningful achievement grows because someone stayed committed when nobody was watching. The work that changes your future often happens during ordinary mornings, quiet evenings, and weekends when other people are busy chasing comfort. Those hours deserve your energy far more than endless conversations. You should also understand that every person hears your plans through the filter of their own experiences. Someone who fears failure may only notice the risks. Someone who never pursued their own goals may struggle to understand yours. Someone who is comfortable staying the same may quietly encourage you to do the same. Their advice is often shaped by the life they accepted, not the life you are trying to create. This does not make them bad people. It simply means you cannot allow every opinion to guide your direction. Protecting your plans is also an act of emotional discipline. There will be moments when progress feels slow. You may need to change your strategy. You may discover that your original idea needs improvement. If you have already shared every detail with everyone around you, you may begin worrying about explaining those changes. That pressure becomes unnecessary weight. When your plans remain private, you have the freedom to learn, adjust, and improve without feeling that you owe the world an update. One of the strongest qualities you can develop is patience. Patience is not waiting while doing nothing. Patience is continuing to work, even when results are still invisible. It is showing up every day without demanding immediate recognition. It is trusting that today's small efforts are creating tomorrow's opportunities. People who lack patience often speak too soon because they want immediate validation. People with patience stay focused because they understand that lasting success takes time. Another lesson worth remembering is that your energy follows your attention. If your attention is constantly on explaining your plans, defending your choices, or answering questions, then less energy remains for meaningful work. Imagine using that same energy to learn a new skill, improve your health, strengthen your finances, or become better at your profession. Small improvements repeated consistently create extraordinary results. Conversations alone never do. As your confidence grows, you will notice something interesting. You stop feeling the need to convince people that your vision makes sense. You become comfortable allowing time to reveal the truth. This is a sign of maturity. Immature confidence depends on immediate agreement. Mature confidence depends on consistent effort. The more secure you become in your purpose, the less you seek permission to follow it. There will always be people who ask what you are planning next. Some are simply curious. Others enjoy predicting what will happen before it happens. You are free to answer with kindness, while still protecting what matters most. A simple response is often enough. You do not have to explain every detail of your future. Your responsibility is not to satisfy curiosity. Your responsibility is to build a life that reflects your values and your discipline. Never forget that your plans are promises you are making to yourself. Treat those promises with respect. Give them time to grow. Feed them with action instead of announcements. Strengthen them with learning instead of long discussions. Every quiet decision you make today is shaping the person you will become tomorrow. One day, people may ask how your life changed so much. The answer will not be found in what you told them. It will be found in the work you protected, the discipline you practiced, and the commitment you honored long before anyone else noticed. That is how meaningful success is built. It begins with a private decision, grows through consistent action, and finally speaks for itself without needing a single explanation. Chapter 7. Say less when you start something new. Every new beginning brings excitement. You decide to improve your health, learn a valuable skill, start a business, change your career, or build better habits. Your mind fills with hope because you can finally see a different future. During those first few days, many people make the same mistake. They start telling everyone what they have decided to do. They talk about the books they are reading, the goals they have written down, the plans they have made, and the life they are about to create. It feels good because people are interested. They ask questions, they offer opinions, some even praise the decision. But there is something far more valuable than early attention. It is early commitment. The beginning of your journey should be spent building discipline, not collecting conversations. Whenever you start something new, your confidence is still developing. You have not yet built enough experience to stay steady through every challenge. A few difficult days can make you question yourself. If you have already shared your plans with many people, another burden appears. Now you begin thinking about what everyone expects from you. Instead of concentrating on learning, you start worrying about how your progress looks from the outside. That pressure takes your attention away from where it belongs. The beginning should be simple. Learn, practice, improve, repeat. Those actions deserve your energy more than explanations ever will. One lesson I have learned is that new habits need protection before they become strong. Think about your own life. How many times have you started something with excitement only to stop a few weeks later? It usually was not because you lacked ability. More often, life became busy, distractions appeared, or motivation disappeared. This is why the first stage of growth should be treated with care. Give yourself time to become consistent before making your journey a public discussion. Consistency creates confidence. Confidence creates progress. Progress creates lasting results. There is another reason to say less when you begin. Every person has a different picture of success. Some people believe your dream is too ambitious. Others believe it is too small. Some think you are moving too quickly. Others think you are wasting time. If you spend enough time listening to everyone, you eventually lose sight of your own direction. The people who make real progress learn to trust the quiet voice inside themselves more than the loud opinions around them. They understand that their future cannot be built on borrowed thinking. You will also discover that every new chapter in life requires patience. The first workout does not transform your body. The first page of a book does not change your knowledge. The first business idea does not create financial freedom. Growth happens because small actions are repeated long enough to become part of your character. That process is rarely exciting from the outside, but it is powerful on the inside. Every day you continue without seeking attention. You strengthen your ability to stay committed even when nobody is watching. One of the greatest qualities you can develop is becoming comfortable with being underestimated. Many people feel a strong desire to prove themselves immediately. They want everyone to know they are changing. They want recognition before the results appear. Resist that temptation. There is no prize for making early announcements. The real reward comes from quietly becoming a different person. Allow your improvement to happen naturally. Allow people to notice the difference when it becomes impossible to ignore. That kind of change lasts because it is built on daily effort rather than temporary excitement. It is also important to understand that not every day will feel inspiring. There will be mornings when your energy is low. There will be evenings when you question whether your effort is worth it. Those moments test your character. If your motivation depends on other people's encouragement, you may stop when the encouragement disappears. But if your motivation comes from your own commitment, you keep moving even on difficult days. That is where real strength begins. Strength is not built when everything feels easy. It is built when you continue despite discomfort. As you grow, your relationship with progress changes. You stop chasing quick results and start appreciating steady improvement. You stop counting how many people know about your goals and start counting how many promises you have kept to yourself. You become proud of finishing what you started, instead of talking about what you hope to accomplish someday. This quiet satisfaction creates a deep confidence that cannot be given by applause or taken away by criticism. People may eventually notice that your habits have changed. They may wonder why you seem calmer, more focused, and more disciplined. They may ask how your life improved so much in such a short time. By then, you will not need a long explanation because your daily choices have already answered the question. Your consistency will be visible in the way you speak, the way you work, the way you manage your time, and the way you carry yourself. That kind of success is much more meaningful because it was earned, not announced. Always remember that the beginning of something valuable deserves your protection. Do not rush to make every new decision part of every conversation. Give yourself the opportunity to learn without pressure, to make mistakes without embarrassment, and to grow without unnecessary attention. Every great achievement starts as a small decision that only one person truly understands. Treat that decision with respect. Feed it with discipline. Strengthen it with action. Stay patient while your foundation becomes stronger each day. When you finally reach the place you once dreamed about, people will see the difference without needing to hear the story of every step you took. Your life will become the proof that quiet commitment is stronger than loud promises, and your future will reflect the wisdom of choosing steady action over constant explanation. Chapter 8. Make quiet choices that change everything. Life does not usually change because of one dramatic moment. It changes because of the small decisions you make when nobody is paying attention. Every day you are making choices that either move you closer to the life you want or keep you exactly where you are. Most of these choices seem ordinary. Nobody celebrates them. Nobody congratulates you for making them. Yet, they quietly shape your future. The decision to wake up when the alarm rings instead of pressing the snooze button. The decision to save money instead of buying something you do not need. The decision to spend an hour learning instead of wasting an hour on distractions. These moments may look too small to matter, but they are building the person you are becoming. Many people spend too much time waiting for a life-changing opportunity. They believe success will arrive when something big finally happens. They wait for the perfect job, the perfect business idea, the perfect partner, or the perfect moment to begin. While they wait, life continues moving forward. The people who truly change their lives understand something different. They stop waiting for perfect conditions and start improving the conditions they already have. They understand that a better future begins with better decisions today. Even if those decisions seem small, one quiet choice that changes everything is deciding to stop chasing attention. There is a powerful feeling that comes when people notice you, praise you, or admire your plans. But that feeling disappears quickly. What remains is the work that still needs to be done. Instead of looking for recognition, train yourself to enjoy making progress. Learn to finish the task even when nobody says well done. Learn to stay disciplined even when nobody is watching. The satisfaction that comes from keeping your own promises lasts much longer than the excitement of receiving approval from others. Another quiet choice is deciding to protect your time. Every person receives the same 24 hours each day, but not everyone treats those hours with the same respect. Some people allow every interruption to control their schedule. Others make careful decisions about where their attention goes. Every unnecessary meeting, every pointless argument, every endless conversation, and every habit that wastes time slowly takes away opportunities you will never get back. Time cannot be stored for later. Once today is gone, it belongs to yesterday forever. Respecting your time is one of the greatest forms of self-respect. There is also a quiet decision that many people avoid because it feels uncomfortable. It is the decision to stop pretending. Many people continue living in ways that no longer fit the person they want to become because they fear how others might react. They keep old habits, old routines, and old conversations simply because they have become familiar. Growth often begins when you become honest with yourself. You admit what is no longer helping you. You accept what needs to change. That honesty may happen in complete silence, but it has the power to transform your entire direction. Every meaningful improvement requires consistency. Reading one book will not change your life unless you apply what you learn. Exercising for 1 week will not create lasting health unless you continue. Saving money once will not build financial security unless it becomes a habit. Quiet choices become powerful because they are repeated. They slowly shape your thinking, your character, and your confidence. After enough repetition, they no longer feel difficult because they become part of who you are. You will also discover that quiet choices strengthen your ability to trust yourself. Every time you follow through on something you promised yourself, you send an important message to your own mind. You prove that your words have value. You show yourself that you can be depended on. This kind of confidence is different from confidence based on compliments. It cannot be created by applause because it comes from experience. You know what you are capable of because you have watched yourself stay committed. On days when giving up would have been easier, there will be moments when your quiet choices seem invisible. You may wonder if they are making any difference. Keep going anyway. A tree does not become tall in 1 week. A skill does not become excellent in 1 month. Strong character is not built overnight. The most valuable things in life often grow so gradually that you hardly notice the change while it is happening. Then one day you realize you think differently, act differently, and respond to challenges with greater wisdom than before. That transformation did not happen because of one big event. It happened because you honored hundreds of small decisions that nobody else saw. Do not underestimate the importance of choosing peace over drama, choosing learning over entertainment, choosing discipline over comfort, choosing preparation over excuses. Each of these decisions may feel ordinary in the moment, but together they create an extraordinary life. Your future is not asking you to become perfect. It is asking you to become intentional. One thoughtful decision repeated every day is more valuable than one exciting decision that is quickly forgotten. As your life begins to change, some people will wonder how it happened. They may believe you were lucky, or that everything came together at the right time. You will know the truth. You will remember the mornings when you kept going without recognition. You will remember the evenings when you chose growth instead of comfort. You will remember the moments when nobody was watching, yet you still made the right decision. Those private choices became the foundation of your success. Never forget that your future is created long before the world notices it. It is created in the quiet moments when you choose responsibility instead of excuses, action instead of delay, patience instead of frustration, and commitment instead of convenience. Every one of those choices is shaping a stronger version of you. Keep making them with confidence. Keep trusting the process. Keep building your life one decision at a time. One day, the results will become impossible to ignore, and people will see what you have become without ever realizing that everything started with a series of quiet choices that changed your life forever. Chapter 9. Let people see change without any warning. One of the greatest moments in life is when people suddenly notice that you are no longer the same person they once knew. They cannot explain exactly when it happened, because you never made a big announcement. You never stood in front of them asking for recognition. You simply kept growing while life moved forward. One day they notice that you think differently. They notice that your habits have changed. They notice that you speak with more confidence, make better decisions, and carry yourself with greater purpose. That kind of transformation is powerful because it is real. It was earned through steady effort instead of public promises. Too many people spend their energy trying to convince others that they are changing. They post every new habit, talk about every new goal, and explain every decision before it has become part of their life. Then, weeks later, nothing is different because the excitement faded before the discipline became strong. Lasting change follows a different path. It grows quietly until it becomes impossible to hide. When your actions become part of your character, you no longer need to explain yourself, because your life tells the story better than your words ever could. People often underestimate the power of consistency because consistency does not look exciting. Reading a few pages every morning is not dramatic. Saving a small amount of money every month is not dramatic. Learning one new skill at a time is not dramatic. Saying no to distractions every day is not dramatic. Yet these ordinary choices slowly create an extraordinary person. Months later, the difference becomes clear. What looked small at the beginning becomes impossible to ignore because the results have continued to grow. There is a valuable lesson in allowing people to discover your growth instead of announcing it. When others discover it on their own, they believe what they see. They are not influenced by your words. They are influenced by your actions. They notice that you complain less and solve more problems. They notice that you react with patience instead of anger. They notice that you keep your promises and finish what you start. These changes earn respect because they are visible in your daily life rather than described in conversation. Do not become discouraged if people continue seeing you as the person you used to be. That happens more often than you think. Many people remember your past longer than they notice your present. They continue expecting the old version of you because that is the version they knew for years. Do not waste your energy trying to change their opinion with explanations. Give your new habits enough time to become undeniable. Time has a way of revealing what words cannot. Stay committed long enough for your improvement to become obvious without your help. One mistake many people make is expecting immediate recognition after making positive changes. They become frustrated because nobody notices they are working harder or making better choices. Remember this: you are not improving your life to impress people. You are improving your life because you deserve a better future. Recognition is never the goal. Growth is the goal. If recognition comes later, accept it with gratitude. If it never comes, continue anyway, because your life is becoming stronger with every good decision you make. As you continue growing, you will also notice something inside yourself beginning to change. You become less interested in proving your value. You stop comparing your progress with someone else's journey. You stop asking whether people appreciate your effort. Instead, you begin asking better questions. Did I become a little wiser today? Did I keep my word today? Did I make one decision that my future self will thank me for? These questions create a healthier way of living because they focus on personal responsibility instead of public approval. There will always be people who are surprised by your progress. Some may even say they never expected you to change so much. Accept those words with humility. Do not become proud or arrogant, because success is easier to keep when you remain teachable. Continue learning. Continue improving. Continue respecting the process that brought you this far. The moment you believe you have nothing left to learn is often the moment growth begins to slow down. One beautiful part of quiet improvement is that it creates peace. You no longer feel pressure to perform for others because you know exactly who you are becoming. You wake up with purpose instead of seeking attention. You finish your work without needing applause. You sleep at night knowing that you honored your commitments. That peace is worth protecting because it comes from living with integrity. It cannot be bought, borrowed, or given by someone else. It grows through honest effort, repeated every single day. Think about the kind of person you want to become 5 years from now. Picture someone who keeps their promises, manages their emotions, makes wise decisions, and continues improving without needing constant praise. That person is not created in one day. That person is created one ordinary choice at a time. Every morning you choose discipline over delay. Every afternoon you choose responsibility over excuses. And every evening you choose learning over wasting time. You are becoming that person. Those moments may seem invisible today, but they are quietly changing the direction of your life. One day someone will ask what happened. They will wonder how you became so focused, so dependable, or so calm under pressure. You will smile, because you know there was no secret moment that changed everything. There was no perfect opportunity that suddenly appeared. There was only a long series of faithful decisions made when nobody was paying attention. That is the kind of change that lasts. It arrives without noise, grows without permission, and speaks without needing an introduction. Allow your life to become that kind of example. Let people discover the difference for themselves. And let your character become the strongest message you ever share, Chapter 10. Become hard to read and easy to respect. There is a quiet strength that many people never develop because they spend too much of their lives trying to be understood by everyone around them. They explain every decision, defend every choice, and react to every opinion. After a while, they become emotionally tired because they are carrying the weight of other people's expectations. A wiser way to live is different. It is learning that you do not have to reveal every thought, every feeling, or every plan for people to respect you. In fact, the people who are respected the most are often the ones who know themselves well enough that they do not need constant approval. They remain calm because their confidence comes from their character instead of other people's reactions. Many people believe respect comes from speaking more, but respect often grows from behaving better. Your actions tell people what kind of person you are long before your words do. If you arrive on time, keep your promises, treat people fairly, continue learning, and stay responsible even when life becomes difficult, people notice. They may never tell you directly, but they notice. Trust is built through repeated behavior. Respect follows the same path. It is created one decision at a time. There is an important difference between being secretive and being private. A secretive person often hides because of fear. A private person chooses wisdom. Privacy allows you to think clearly before you act. It gives you room to make decisions without feeling pressured by other people's opinions. It teaches you that your value does not depend on how much of your life is visible to the world. Some of the most important parts of your journey should remain personal, because they are helping shape the person you are becoming. As you continue growing, you will notice that emotionally strong people do not react to everything they hear. They are not controlled by every compliment or every criticism. They listen carefully, think carefully, and respond with purpose. This does not happen by accident. It happens because they have trained themselves to pause before reacting. They understand that every situation does not deserve an emotional response. Some situations deserve patience, others deserve silence, a few deserve action. Learning the difference is one of the greatest signs of maturity. Another habit that earns respect is becoming dependable. People remember how consistently you show up. They remember whether you finish what you begin. They remember whether your words match your behavior. You do not have to tell people that you are disciplined. Live with discipline every day. You do not have to announce that you are honest. Make honest decisions even when nobody is watching. Character is built in private moments, but it becomes visible in public life. That is why true respect cannot be demanded. It must be demonstrated. There will always be people who try to figure you out. They will wonder why you stay calm in situations that once upset you. They may wonder why you no longer argue over small things or explain every decision you make. Allow them to wonder. You do not need to answer every question about your personal growth. Some lessons are meant to be lived rather than explained. The more secure you become within yourself, the less you feel the need to prove anything to anyone. One mistake that keeps many people from growing is trying to please everybody. They adjust their personality depending on who is standing in front of them. They fear disappointing others more than they fear disappointing themselves. This creates confusion because they slowly lose touch with their own values. A strong life is built when you know what matters to you and remain faithful to those principles. People may not always agree with your choices, but they will recognize consistency. Consistency creates credibility, and credibility creates lasting respect. Remember that confidence does not have to be loud. A confident person is comfortable listening more than speaking. A confident person can walk into a room without trying to become the center of attention. A confident person is willing to admit mistakes, learn from them, and continue improving. There is great strength in that kind of humility because it comes from security, not from pride. The people who truly believe in themselves rarely spend time trying to convince everyone else. As the years pass, your reputation becomes one of your greatest assets. Your reputation is not built by one impressive day. It is built by hundreds of ordinary days when you chose honesty over shortcuts, responsibility over excuses, patience over anger, and discipline over comfort. Every one of those choices becomes part of the story your life tells. That story becomes much more powerful than anything you could ever say about yourself. Think about the person you want your family, friends, and colleagues to describe when you are not in the room. They will not remember every conversation. They will remember how you treated people. They will remember whether you stayed true to your values. They will remember whether your actions matched your promises. Those memories are created through daily living, not through impressive speeches. Live in a way that leaves people with confidence in your character, instead of curiosity about your words. As you finish this journey, carry one lesson with you every single day. You do not have to explain your direction, announce your progress, or reveal every part of your life to earn respect. Build a life that reflects discipline, wisdom, patience, and integrity. Protect your peace, protect your purpose, protect your standards. Continue making good decisions when nobody is watching. Continue improving without asking for recognition. Continue becoming a person whose actions speak with honesty and whose character remains steady through every season of life. When you live that way, people will naturally respect you because they will see someone who is guided by principles instead of attention. That kind of respect lasts because it is earned through the quiet choices that shape an extraordinary life.